What's up, y'all? It's your boy Diego back in this world of cinematics. Today I got a 2015 film to review for y'all. This is The Witch, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, just a beautiful woman. Anyways, let's watch the trailer and let's get into this thing.
Bah, bah, bah. Like Philip Stiff, you are wicked.
Does he really speak to thee?
This wilderness will not consume us.
Who's there?
You've cursed this family. This is witchcraft.
She placed a curse on me!
Why have you turned against me?
I saw it.
Your reign of evil! It's not safe, not with them.
Think on thy sins.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Diego. We're back with another one. This is The Witch. This is a folklore, psychological horror thriller type movie. It's a bit of supernatural horror as well because they're playing on Satan and witchcraft and yada yada yada. But yeah, I thought it was a decent movie. It's mildly entertaining. It's a little bit scary. If you're into witchy shit, you'll probably like this movie. Yeah, I thought it was interesting how they're using like real aspects of folklore. The story's set in the 1630s New England, so I like how they're British people in the movie, or they're English people and they have accent, and they talk like it's broken English. So it was really cool to see that. We'll start out with the cast. Now, first up, we've got the mother. The mother is Catherine, played by Kate Dickie. I thought the acting was pretty good throughout this thing. Next up, we got William, played by Ralph Neeson, I guess that's how you say his name. Yeah, very religious, very good Puritan, but his pride and his stubbornness contribute to the downfall of his family in the story. Next up, we got the two twins, Mercy, the girl, and Jonas, the boy. They're very mischievous. They like to have fun. They're always playing, dancing, singing. They're obsessed with this goat they have living with them on the farm, Black Phillip they call him, and this goat later turns out to be a satanic symbol for death, witchcraft, Satan, whatever you want to call it. Just a weird, erratic goat. Next up, we've got Samuel. I'll explain Samuel. Samuel's just basically the baby that gets captured in the beginning of this movie by the witch. And the baby's captured when the girl isn't looking. So this girl, Anya, whatever her name is, she's not looking, and the witch comes and steals the baby. The baby's played by Axton Henry Dube and Ethan Conrad Dube. So in the beginning, this baby goes missing, and that's really when shit starts to get weird for this family, and everything starts falling apart. They start going against each other. Yeah, next up is Caleb, played by Harvey Scrimshaw. So Thomason's younger brother. He's always conflicted with temptation and fear. And then we got Thomason, the star of this movie, really, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. The teen daughter, kind of just hitting puberty, I guess, is the idea. But yeah, she's very isolated, and she's often blamed for the family's problems, being the oldest girl, and she's accused of witchcraft throughout the movie. She's accused of getting the baby taken or being irresponsible. But yeah, the dynamic with Thomason being being in the patriarchy or whatever you call it, where in this time period women were really looked down upon. They weren't treated as with the same respect as men. So there's that. There's certain elements to this movie where you don't know who's telling the truth, who's lying, because the twins are blaming this witchcraft and everything that's going on Thomason, but she's blaming it on the twins, so you don't know who to trust. One thing's for sure, though, the goat that's with this family is very sketchy. This black Philip motherfucker, yeah, I guess don't trust a black goat. He's probably got Satan himself dwelling inside of him, is the message of this movie. But no, it wasn't too good for me, just because I felt like it was, a lot of stuff was very slow and drawn out. It was get to the point already type movie. I didn't think it was very scary with the witch. There was a few scenes, like in the beginning when she takes the baby and she's doing her witchcraft or her spell or whatever. That's pretty spooky. And then there's one other scene where the boy Caleb, he finds the witch in the woods when he goes to look for the baby by himself. And yeah, I think the witch ends up, doing some weird shit to him. You can guess what. And then the boy ends up back at the farmhouse somehow. The witch dropped him off, and he's all fucked up. He's sick. And he ends up having an apple in his stomach, a cursed apple or some type of thing that was poisoning him. He pukes it up, and then I think in that scene the kids are also possessed somehow by this witch or this demon. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, if you're into folklore type horror, supernatural stuff with witches and witchcraft and all that black magic, this one might be for you. I just wanted to check it out because it intrigued me. It had a lot of good reviews. But for me, this is not really my type of movie. I do like certain aspects of it, though, like how it was like an older type movie, and it was really historically accurate given the information that was presented in the movie, the way this family was speaking in like Othello or Shakespearean type language. Yeah, I thought it was really good in that aspect. The witch was just dumb. Like, these bitches don't scare me. If I ever seen a witch, I'd probably just blow her brains out, and that would be the end of her. But yeah, and I thought it was just corny how at the end of the movie they try to make this young girl into a witch, and she feels empowered now because she's gonna eat, or she's gonna feast on butter and bread or whatever the dumbass fucking black goat tells her. Yeah, because she's been, ridiculed and kind of, she's been at the bottom of the barrel her whole life, being bossed around. And now she sees an opportunity in witchcraft and joining these witches. She feels good. So it's supposed to be a feminist, weirdo witch type empowerment. I don't know. It's just fucking weird. But yeah, if you're into that thing, go for it. Just not my cup of tea. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I can't say if any of this witchcraft stuff is real. I've never seen it happen with my own eyes, so that makes these type of movies kind of less serious for me. It's just more like fantasy type supernatural. But I know witches do exist, and especially back then, and they did kidnap children and do all this weird stuff to them, eat them, do spells, so there's that aspect of real life that is absolutely fucking disgusting and a bit terrifying. But yeah, this one is just it was not really for me. I mean, the witch was scary enough for some people. For me, she just looked like an old hag, and she's laughing in the barn with the black goat. Just kind of corny. I didn't really like the ending of this movie. Like I said, I thought there could have been more blood, more gore. Kind of boring. But they did the suspense decent in it. It was mostly just the family turning against each other, which was the main tension and the main thriller aspect of this movie. Because the dad thinks the daughter's a witch. The mother thinks she's a witch. She said, "What have you done?" Blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, it's... Yeah, I guess this girl is the only one alive. I'm not sure what happened to Caleb. But I also like the scene at the end, how the witch uses Caleb and makes it seem like she's using a spell. She's using witchcraft to appear... as Caleb and the baby, so the mother's happy, she's got her baby back, and then she goes to nursing him, and then the scene cuts out and shows what's actually happening, and a fucking big raven or crow is just pecking her tit and making her bleed. So it's kind of funny, but I thought that scene was pretty dark and spooky as well. This thing was decent. I liked the British aspects, the old English. I liked the feel of being back in those times, where you didn't have to rely, where we weren't reliant on technology, on government systems, on food and water from factories, things like that. It's definitely got a nice vibe to this movie, and it feels real in that way. The cinematography is beautiful. Most of it was shot, I guess, in the dark with candles or in natural lighting, so that's always good. There's bonus points for that. What else can I say? Yeah, dialogue based on 17th century historical documents. I guess this movie's often cited with helping popularize modern elevated horror, which I guess is like a slow burn suspense type horror. Yeah, there's a lot of religious propaganda or religious paranoia of why is this happening? I must be doing something wrong with God. I must be sinning, yada, yada, yada. So I thought that was nice, that a lot of people are still religious today, and they can relate to this movie, being Christian or Muslim, whatever. And yeah, this movie just goes to show that, I guess, Satan and the darkness always wins because it's an evil world and there is no God. I don't know. Yeah, and it shows like a lot of breakdown of family trust, a lot of isolation because the movie starts out and I guess the father ends up getting his family kicked out of this excuse me, kicked out of the plantation town that they're staying in, this little village, and then they're kind of left to fend for themselves in this abandoned farmhouse. Um, and then it's like an isolation vibe because there's no one out there except them in the woods, and they got a little farm. They got a cornfield, but the corn is spoiled. It's all rotten. For whatever reason, there might be a bad omen on that land because the witch lives there in those woods. And I think there's mention, like, William mentions that there's a legend of a witch out here in the woods, and shit just gets crazy. There's a lot of emotions in this film from the father who doesn't know what's going on. He's a deep Christian, wants to do well in God's eye, and etc. Then you got the mother who's grieving constantly paranoid, and also worried about upsetting God, and she's just so sad and crying throughout this movie because she loses her baby. But I also thought it was dumb how the baby gets lost because they're playing peekaboo, and for some reason Thomas Zane closes her eyes for literally 2 or 3 seconds and opens them as the baby's gone. So just kind of silly. I don't think a witch could snatch up a baby that quick. And then you see the witch running through the woods with the baby. It's so cringe. I don't know, maybe I'm hating on this movie too much. It was really dark and it was pretty scary, I'll give it that. But again, just not my type of slow type of witch movie. When they did it this way, where it was just kind of boring and it was more just family conflict, was probably the scariest thing in here. So yeah, let me know what y'all thought of this one. This one's gonna get a 5.5 from me. Like I said, it just wasn't my type of movie, but some people might really be into this one and might really like it, so I encourage you to check it out if you're a supernatural horror or a witch type horror, satanic, witchcraft, etc. type horror movie. You'll probably like this one and you'll think it's decent. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the film. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. And until next time, peace.